Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for mid-March 2025. We are going to jump right in here. You have this card that says the end of a tough cycle approaches. You also have this card that says it's time to release negativity. So that's good. A lot of people have kind of had cards that would represent the end of a tough cycle. And, definitely the first 2 weeks of March were a little bit of a squeeze. I feel like people could have felt the squeeze or felt some, like being triggered by some sort of limitation in your life, or like something that you need that you don't have. That type of feeling is something that has probably come up for a lot of people. And, again, the next eclipse that we're going to have at the end of the month, or closer to the end of the month, I should say, is a little bit, it's a lot bit more positive. And I think that it will be, just feel better for a lot of people as well. So I kind of feel that end of a tough cycle thing is just a very common energy that people are dealing with right now. But it's a good thing because, obviously you're ending a tough cycle, which is positive. You start this row with the Five of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. This is how you are entering into the reading, just your current general energies. Again, the Five of Wands can represent conflict and competition. I feel for you, Libra, this could be more of that like squeeze type of feeling going on here with the Five of Wands. The thing about the Five of Wands is that it usually represents learning. These people on the card are using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. So the Five of Wands is a card of education through challenge, which is basically what eclipses are. So eclipses can sometimes, especially these lunar eclipses like the one we just had, in Virgo, can definitely bring up some sort of limitation, or can make us feel limitation. And usually it's so that we learn something. Now, I kind of feel this one was a little bit more like challenging and like emotionally, and maybe it pissed you off more than others have in the past, right? So the last time we had this exact set of eclipses was in 2006. So you have to think back to 2006 and think about what you were dealing with at that time. And, whatever happened could have reminded you of like 2006, right? And so I kind of feel that for some of you, it's like you thought you were done with something, and then, like an issue in life or a challenge that you experienced in the past, and maybe it popped back up. But again, the good news about the eclipses is usually it doesn't last, and usually it's just to like remind us of what we learned the last time. You have the Four Cups here. Again, Four Cups sometimes I feel is like noticing things that you want to change, if that makes sense, because he's kind of like disappointed with what he has manifested so far. And kind of like I said at the beginning of the reading, it's possible that you were triggered by something that reminded you of like a restriction in the past, for example. So if something is restricting your freedom of movement, right? You have the Chariot here. Then, you could be looking at that and saying, like, what do I need to fix? Or why can I not, why can I not overcome this restriction, right? And the Four of Cups is about using your lessons. So exactly what I just said about the eclipses. He has these three cups right here. He's tried to manifest something in the past, and he, was disappointed with the result. But each one of these cups contains a lesson. And if he mixes those lessons together and applies it to this new situation, then he will have a much better and different outcome than he did these three other times. So with the Five of Wands and Four Cups, it's super important that we learn. We learn from our lessons. We apply those lessons to new situations. And if we do that, things will go very well. You have the Knight of Swords. Now, sometimes with the Knight of Swords, I feel that he is kind of like getting to a certain point in the reading, and then he's choosing to run back to the past. So we have the Three of Swords here. And the Three of Swords could be a heartbreaking situation that you've dealt with, or, heartbreaking situation that you've dealt with in the past. I kind of feel like this is an opportunity that could lead to heartbreak. And no, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like anytime we commit to anything, love or otherwise, like this doesn't have to be a love situation. This could be a business, could be your job, it could be just a hobby or something you want to enjoy. But again, I think for Libra here with this reading, it's about looking at those past, whatever you were disappointed with years ago. And it's like, I feel there's like a repeat opportunity for you to do something very similar to whatever it is that hasn't been working for you. And so it's almost like the Knight of Swords is afraid of a heartbreak when really this situation might not be a heartbreak, right? It might, he might just be fearing it, and that's why he's kind of like running away. And so I feel that, the first 2 rows of this reading, I mean, the end is very positive. Star, Ace of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. It's like you will get what you want, but, maybe there's a little bit of this energy of overcoming a fear, or charging past that fear of heartbreak in committing to something. And like I said, I don't even necessarily think this is love for all of you. I think that this is like just, something that you're going to commit to. With the 5 of Wands, you have the 7 of Wands. You always get the 7 of Wands with me, I think, as well. And 7 of Wands is about boundaries. 7 of Wands is like drawing a line in the sand. It's saying, I am no longer willing to put up with XYZ, and I'm no longer willing to allow whatever that is into my life, and that's it. So we really have to kind of like stick to our guns with the 7 of Wands, right? Like once we draw a boundary, that's it, and we can't go back on our word. And I kind of get that feeling here for you, where it's like saying, stick to your boundaries with the 7 of Wands. With the 4 of Cups, you have the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is a lot of options. The 4 of Cups is kind of like filtering through those options. You've been disappointed for 3 times, at least, with that 4 of Cups, right? And so with the 7 of Cups, there are good things and bad things in those cups. There are good options and bad options in life. That's how life works. But I feel that your vision, what you see, is better. So it's like you can see a good option before you enter into it. You can see a bad option before you enter into it. And I would just pay attention to the clear evidence, exactly what you are seeing. It's like I think we don't have a lot of time in life, and it's like as humans we make generalizations, right? We it's like maybe you would never date someone who drives a truck, right? I don't know. I'm just making that up off the top of my head. Obviously, that some people who drive trucks are very good people, but it's like maybe you've had a lot of bad experiences. I don't know why I'm saying this, but it's popping into my head, so I have to get it out, right? And so it's like maybe you wouldn't, and sometimes, but like I feel like sure, it's like you could say that's a generalization. I'm just using that as an example, but at the same time, I think we also don't live forever, so it's like sometimes we do have to make generalizations. And now I don't think this is about like someone who drives a truck. I think that there are certain behaviors that you see with people, and it's like maybe not all people who have those behaviors are necessarily bad, but for the most part, maybe they basically are. Like if you notice when you're dating a person, if it takes them too long to text you back, it's like maybe that's a bad sign for you. That maybe the person's just busy, but at the same time, I think it's about trusting the evidence for you here, Libra. It's like saying, don't let if that's a boundary for you, that someone doesn't wait 48 hours before texting you back, then you need to stick to that boundary, even if they could be a good person. Like, again, you don't have forever to figure it out, right? And so, I don't know. I hopefully what I just said makes sense. Probably not. With the Knight of Swords, yes, you have to be like the King of Swords. King of Swords has a ton of knowledge and wisdom. He knows how to deal with situations, and he just has to trust his knowledge and wisdom, which is what I think you should be doing here as well. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card. It says, does your career fully align with who you are physically, emotionally, and spiritually? Maybe not for some of you. We've been talking about this for a couple of years for you, Libra, that I think a lot of Libras, like if you have been having a hard time in career, I think the challenge for Libra is that you probably haven't been able to get something that you're actually qualified for. Like you're probably either overqualified for the job you have, or you can't even get one. Based off your qualifications, right? So that's been a challenge for Libra. And again, luckily this is changing. So, a lot of you could be getting things you're qualified for. You have this discovery card. It says, there's still an essential piece of the puzzle that you have yet to discover. A missing piece of information must fall into place before you will know your next step. So we will look into that, but you kind of start with the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords with the 7 of Cups is being curious. The Page of Swords is a card of curiosity just in general. He needs to be curious. He needs to look into things and explore ideas and, things like that as well, so that he can, learn. And so with the 7 of Cups here, it's about variety. It's like that missing piece of the puzzle sometimes is wisdom, right? We have the King of Swords. King of Swords is a card of knowledge and wisdom. He knows more than someone who just knows things because wisdom is the act of putting your knowledge into practice, right? So it's like sometimes I think that, you can learn from people all day long. YouTube really taught me this lesson in life, right? It's like there are a million YouTube experts, but there are so many things that I do that the YouTube experts say don't work that it works really well for me. So it's like you can listen to experts all day long, but until you gain the wisdom on your own, it's like you can't find those missing pieces of the puzzle. So, I feel with Page of Swords, I almost get this feeling of experimentation or, being willing to use your knowledge and turn it into wisdom. You have the Chariot, which is definitely a victory coming in for you. So there could be some sort of big win or a big victory coming in for you at this time. Especially career looks really good in this reading. So like I said, if you've been having a hard time having a victory in work or business, that could be where this victory is happening. Some of you, I do get a little bit of moving energy. The funny thing is that it's like I feel that if you are one of the Libras that's thinking about moving, just based off of what I see here, like this could be something that happens like at the beginning of next year. It kind of feels a little bit delayed to me, like maybe you're just thinking about it or you're preparing for it or whatever, right? So if you are thinking about a move, it might be a little while, but I do think that if you're thinking about it, it would be good for you. Like definitely the cards are saying this could be a really good opportunity if you are moving. For the rest of you, I just feel it could be like a victory. You have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is a heartbreak. The thing about the Three of Swords is we have to remove those swords from our own heart. The Three of Swords is a card of forgiveness. It says when you forgive the past, you remove those swords from your own heart and you're able to move forward. We don't have to forgive a person directly with the Three of Swords. We just have to forgive them in our heart and then we can move on. I also do feel that this could be an opportunity that could break your heart if you commit to it. Like I said, but I'm not really feeling love. I feel, this could be like a job or something that you've worked on in the past, which makes sense with the retrogrades that we're having. Especially Mercury Mercury is retrograde. Venus is retrograde as well. So a lot of you could be kind of like having those fears. Like, is this, like maybe it is the fear of abandonment, right? Like, if I accept this job, I'm gonna get fired, or this is gonna happen, or that's gonna happen. And I feel like the Three of Swords is saying that needs to change, that mindset, right? With the Page of Swords, you have the Devil. I would be careful of past people. This set of retrogrades and everything going on, North Node and Pisces is very karmic as well. Pretty much everyone, I haven't seen this many cards for like exes coming back. And again, I'm one of the only readers that says do not go back to the past. So, again, I would be very careful because, especially with that North Node and Pisces, it could be like a karmic connection or something that's not great. And, again, with the Page of Swords, it could say an ex is spying. So 7 of Wands, you might want to put up those boundaries. With the Chariot, you have the Four of Cups again. See, you will be victorious this time. You will win this time, as long as you're turning your knowledge into wisdom. As long as you are taking what you learned the first time, or the second time, or the third time, maybe this is your fourth time, doing something again. As long as you apply what you learned, I think you're going to have a very positive outcome. I think if you run away, that's going to be, the challenge, right? And so, don't run away from an opportunity that looks similar to whatever you've done in the past. With the Three of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Really good. Ten of Pentacles is one of my foundational cards. It's a very secure, stable card. It's a card of building, leaving a legacy. I always say Ten of Pentacles is something we will work on forever. We don't really just get the Ten of Pentacles unless you're getting an inheritance, which is possible for some of you, but, again, obviously not all of you. And the Ten of Pentacles is something that we build forever. So we go from the Ten of Pentacles up to the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles has to be nurtured into existence. So I would say that this is definitely like a new opportunity to create establishment in your life. Ten of Pentacles is an establishment. This could be, a very successful career, a very successful business, a successful job. Could just be a successful life, because Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. So, really good. Next in the area, messages from your future self. You have the self-regulation card and the strength card. I feel maybe you have learned how to regulate yourself. Again, we're in a very emotional time, so everybody has had very emotional cards. But I think people are learning how to regulate their emotions, how to take care of themselves better, how to work with their emotions. Again, I don't think we shouldn't feel emotions. I think that we just have to learn how to use them constructively. We feel emotions for a reason. We're not robots. So we have to use them for something, right? And I feel that's what these two cards are saying. I actually feel really good about this for you, Libra. I think you've kind of been through a period of time that maybe was emotional. It's like you've learned how to use it. Next, you have the Five of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Star. This would really represent kind of like walking away from something and taking a risk on an opportunity. I always say that the Five of Swords to me is really a risk-taking card. It is a card of winning at all cost or walking away or cutting something out, but, I kind of look at it as a card of risk-taking. Like he's taking the risk of walking away from something and maybe to find something better. And in this row, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Star. So the Ace of Pentacles is like a big opportunity that could be coming in for you. I've noticed a lot of aces in this set of readings, which is very unusual, I would say. I have noticed over the years that when we have a lot of retrogrades, usually a lot of aces don't show up because, when you think about it, retrogrades aren't necessarily a good time to start something new, right? Usually we are rebuilding or redoing or rebirthing something or reinventing or revisiting something. And that definitely could be true for you because of the Four of Cups. You could be kind of revisiting a similar opportunity to what you've been through in the past. Now, one thing I will say is we do have a lot of nurturing energy in the astrology, all that stuff in Pisces, right? And the Ace of Pentacles has to be nurtured into existence very specifically. The Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity that we really have to take care of more than any other ace. I look at it like a garden. We have, if we get an opportunity under an Ace of Pentacles, we have to water it, feed it, fertilize it, give it sunlight, take care of it. And so it's like planting a seed. And I feel a lot of you could be planting a major seed at this time. You even have the Star. The Star could suggest that this is something that you've wished for. So the Star kind of says you've probably asked for this. The other thing I would say about the Star, and especially for you as an air sign, is that, sometimes I feel like she needs to jump into this pool. She's kind of just dipping her toes in the water, and this is the pool of universal consciousness. So this card sometimes says that you can't just skim the surface. You have to dive in head first into something, especially if you're working on something new. And I would definitely suggest that with the Ace of Pentacles. Especially if this is something that you want, that you have done before, I would just dive in. With the Five of Swords, you have the King of Wands. King of Wands can be about needing to be bold, needing to be assertive, needing to really go for something. Just like I said with the Star card, I would be diving in head first into whatever this is. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the World. Again, more moving. There could be, here's the other thing as well, is that some of you could be getting opportunities in work or business because of a move, or you could be getting an opportunity to move for work. And if you are getting that opportunity, again, I see this as very good for you. I don't feel like this is something that you're going to do very quickly. Like I said earlier, it just feels like a little bit farther away to me. So this might be something where a boss is like, hey, we're thinking about, transferring you to this other place. Would you consider it? And maybe you say yes. And then, it's a whole process, if that makes sense. And it's kind of popping into my head that way. But I think it would be really good for you if you want something like that. This could also be an accomplishment. And we see, really good cards for accomplishments and achievements. One thing I will say is, again, collectively, I've noticed a lot of people have had kind of Chariot to the World and, Chariot to the Ace of Swords or the World to the Ace of Swords. I've seen a lot. So it seems like a time of accomplishment, but I feel that, again, with the retrogrades, we could, if you are reinventing something, reworking something that you've already worked on, that's where the success could come from. Another ace. With the Star, you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. Lunar eclipses are out with the old, in with the new. So, it just makes sense that you have a card that basically says exactly the energy that we've all been dealing with for a long time. And sorry, it's trying to focus on my eye. So usually I have to pull a pirate here and cover my eye. But, definitely could be a new beginning. At the end here, for the good stuff, you have this Leo card. It says courage. It says boost your courage so you can put yourself out there in a bigger way. Knight of Swords. Again, Knight of Swords to that Three of Swords. A little bit of a nervous energy that I get there. Again, I'm not calling you out or anything. We've all been there where you're like afraid to do something because you're afraid that you'll get hurt. But I think charging through that and just realizing that you know everything you need to know with the King of Swords, I think will help you the most. You have this wave of emotions. Yes, we talked a lot about emotions in this reading. A new experience will enter your life that will stir a wave of emotions in you. And again, it looks like happy emotions. So there could be a lot of happiness here, Libra. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the Four of Wands. The Two of Pentacles in the good stuff, number one, can be a settlement. Now, you have the Ten of Pentacles here as well. And so sometimes, there are some cards in the tarot that I call clue cards. And the Two of Pentacles is a clue card for me as a reader. Sometimes I feel that it can represent receiving a settlement. Obviously, you would have to know that you're going to receive a settlement to receive one if that message is for you. The other thing I would say is that, your Libra, balance, and the Two of Pentacles is a great card for creating more balance in your life. So a lot of you could just be creating more balance with the Two of Pentacles. You have the Four of Swords. Yeah, great time for resting, relaxing, recovering. Like if you need a break, take a break. If you need a rest, take a rest. He's hoping and praying for a blessing. This lady here is blessing this other person in this stained glass window. So some of you could be receiving blessings for the work that you do, or blessings for, you could be receiving blessings that you've been hoping and praying for, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands can be a card of marriage, of course. So if you are looking for love, then this could be a commitment coming in for you. It doesn't say you have to get married, but, could say commitment. Really, I feel based off of this reading that you could be setting yourself free because of that Knight of Swords. I feel that this right here is something that has probably happened a couple of times. And the Four of Wands is like finally finishing something and setting yourself free after that. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles. Yes, Five of Pentacles in the good stuff would say you're coming out of the cold. And again, I see financial improvement here, especially for those of you that have not been able to get a job that you're qualified for. That popped into my head. I literally said it earlier. So I feel a lot of you could be, getting better positions or getting positions that help you improve your finances, which is great. With the Four of Swords, you have the Two of Pentacles. It's like you've been hoping for more balance, because he's praying, on the Four of Swords, obviously. So it's like maybe you've been hoping and praying for more balance in your life or more, opportunity with the Seven of Cups. So I kind of feel like it's just saying that you're getting something you've been praying for. And damn, another ace. With the Four of Wands, you have the Ace of Cups. Really good. Again, aces, especially multiple aces, like we have three right here. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. Multiple aces can represent having a new beginning or, experiencing a new beginning. So there definitely could be some sort of new beginning. The Ace of Cups could also be new love as well. You have this Ram card. It says a stubborn, aggressive person. Mars is not retrograde anymore, but I've been saying to everyone, we still have Mars retrograde shadow until like May 2nd. So I think that we all need to be very careful of stubborn people. Mars retrograde is like notorious for bringing out people who are stubborn. And, those people can just slow us down. They can just get in the way. Again, Seven of Wands, put up those boundaries, right? You have this Candle card. It says you will be shown the way. A lot of guidance right now because of all that energy in Pisces. So, tap in, right? If you meditate, go for a walk, or, whatever you do to get your answers, pay attention to synchronicities, all that other good stuff is exactly what I would be doing with this card because it is a very spiritual time. Mercury and Venus are both going to retrograde back into Pisces as well. So, like I said, very spiritual time. You have this ear card. It says good news on it. Do you have any? No. For some reason, I thought you had another good news card, the Page of Pentacles, but you don't. But still, could be good news, especially for those of you, like if you're waiting for approval with that Two of Pentacles, or if you've been trying to get a job that you're actually qualified for, that could be happening for you as well. You have this Well card. It says family wishes come true. Amazing time for family, friends, people that you're close with. Again, just even in the astrology, we see a lot of great energy for getting support from the people that really matter to you. And so if you need support or help, that's what I'd be going towards. You have this basket. It says recognition, reward for merit. Yeah, star card. It would be an amazing time for you to stand out, to get extra attention, to do things that could give you extra attention. Those are all things that I would focus on. I think everybody should, but especially for you air signs, because we have Pluto and Aquarius. And I'm telling you right now, I think the best thing people can do or learn to do is getting attention. But we're talking about positive attention. We're not talking about, doing negative things to get attention. So like standing out at work, getting attention for love, but positive attention, of course, like all that will be very beneficial for you, Libra, and that's definitely something I would focus on. I think, like I said, I think everybody does, but it's like extra for the air signs, and that's what I would focus on there. But this looks really good, Libra. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.